invited lahat yung mga pasyente doon sa medical center. Basta yung nagkaroon ng problema doon, as long as you can move, I've invited them to have dinner with me sa Malacanang. Yun ang dapat mga tao magkain doon kasi kanila yung bayan. And one day, I'll invite also everybody. Dandan lang, itong mga hirap. Itong mga hirap kasi hindi ito hindi yung malakas sa isang hindi nakakita. So, I'll invite taga-Tondo, Pandakan muna kung saan yung para makita nila anong palasyo ng tao. That's why I always say the palace of the people called Malacanang. You have heard me say that. I never say diretso Malacanang Palace. Hindi naman palasyo yan eh. One day I will rename it People's Palace.
So yung barangay election, Mayor,
yung park dito.
next year, Mayor,
one day?
Barangay.
I spent there 600 million. Anong pangalan binigay ko? People's Park.
So
sir,
have
bago
it changed?
matapos yung term nyo, dapat
Oh,
People's Palace.
Dapat
tanggalin ko.
People's Palace.
You know why? In the word Malacanang,
Oo.
it sucks with imperialism. Totoo. Sino nagpangalan ng Malacanang Palace? Mga Espanyol na. Why should I just address it as the People's Palace of the Republic of the Philippines?
Philippine-based Australian businessman and business development advocate Peter Wallace defended President Rodrigo Duterte's controversial management style. In a press briefing in Malacanang, Wallace said Filipinos voted Duterte for change.
He promised change, and we wanted change, so the people voted for him. And he won overwhelmingly, promising that change. And now people are complaining that he's changed, that he's different. And yet that's what we wanted. We wanted to get away from the old political systems and get to something new and different. Well, we have something new and different. And we need to start to understand and accept what he is. I've been studying this man for quite some time now. I've known him for quite some time. And I know that the way in which he talks is not the way in which he thinks. This is a man who genuinely cares for this country and genuinely cares for its people. And what I particularly like, cares for them out where it really matters in the provinces where we have the poorest of the poor and the people suffering the most.
Wallace also observed that President Duterte wants to introduce an independent Philippines in the international community.
I don't see him as trying to divorce himself from America. That would make no sense, right? He's just trying to establish an equal partnership, and that's a different thing.
Wallace described the president as a determined leader. He said that the Freedom of Information Act was established 5 days after he assumed post last June.
But I think the one that struck us all immediately was after, 5 presidents, 25 years, we didn't have a Freedom of Information Act. Within 6 days we had one. Just like that. He did the sensible thing, he passed an executive order. So at least the government side, the administration, now has to release information to us if and when we want it. That needs to be institutionalised now and expanded to cover the judiciary and the legislature, so it needs a law, and he's asked for that law to be passed.
Real talk. I have to repeat this again and again, and I don't mean to offend anybody by it. I am not DDS, but I support the president because he is who is leading our country. I am pro-Philippines, and I acknowledge that he is not the only person in this government, but there is thousands, hundreds of thousands of employees that make this whole country work every single day. I also do acknowledge that this is the only president I have experienced where I can see actual change going on. For somebody who inherited a deeply broken system, I can say that he has tried his best to fix it. You cannot expect it to be fixed fully in 6 years, but there have been tremendous strides in getting the job done. People who think that a deeply broken system here in the Philippines can be fixed in 6 years is believing in a fairy tale. It is the acknowledgement that our president have done his job in putting people in place that have to also do their job. But in turn, as citizens, it is our right and our responsibility to also do our part. That is why I don't complain. And that is why I make it a point to volunteer, to show up for people in my community, to communicate with our local government unit, and to really let them know that I stand with them in order for our city here in Butuan to progress as well. This is our responsibility. It is a collective responsibility of the majority that wants the Philippines to be great again. It is up to us. This is the reason why we are a democracy. But the thing with the democracy here in the Philippines is that it's too much. People use it to insult somebody who's trying his very best at a thankless job. Sure, he should have been mayor and stayed in Davao City, but you borrowed him. And now you say that you regret it? No, there is no time for regret. There is only time to unite. We have survived 2020 amidst the pandemic, amidst the CPP, NPA, NDF war, amidst drugs, amidst all of the problems and the natural disasters that we had to face. But we need to stop fighting. But if you don't see the value in unity, then the problem isn't with the supporters of the president. The problem is with the cancer that can't seem to shut up. Be the solution and be great at it. For some of you that feel disillusioned and jaded by this country, you feel like, there's so much going on that you really don't know where to start in helping. It's simple. Talk to your community leaders or talk to your friends. Pool an effort to support and understand how things work. It's not a tailor-fit solution for everything. It's a community-based effort. Again, your tiny steps will become strides, and these strides will be a collective effort to make the Philippines a much better place. There are problems, but there are also solutions. It is in acting in real life and less complaining on social media that will create a kind of change that is brought on by the Filipinos who truly love this country. That's the difference between us and them.
Yun na nga, I was asked na, the president would like to meet with you and grabe, very humbling po. Napakalaking honor po yun. Heritage as a single mom, as somebody na talagang walang no affiliate to whatever talaga. I feel very humbled, and yun nga, it could happen to anyone. It could. And yun yung talagang pagmahal mo lang talaga ng maayos ang Pilipinas, aabot ka talaga sa Malacanang. Anybody is welcome. Anybody. I feel that now. Alam ko na now yan. Kasi, when na-meet ko siya, yun nga yung sinabi ko kagabi, makikita mo talaga po yung difference ng public servant at ng politiko. Kasi, iba sir. No? Kasi, you know this because yung politiko kasi alam mo na may kailangan siya sa'yo. Pag kinausap ka niya, may kailangan siya sa'yo. Pero ang kagandahan kasi po na nakikipag-usap ka ng public servant, na-realize ko na talaga ngayon na he is the type of person na alam mo presidente na siya ng Pilipinas, pero alam mo yung bungad ko talaga sa kanya. Sabi ko talaga, sir, paano po kita matutulungan? Ako po talaga yung nagsabi. Yung parang sabi ko pa, na-realize ko, hindi pala ako army. Ano po ba talaga itutulong mo sa presidente ng Pilipinas? Yun po, kasi ganun siya na klase. Ganun yung you want to help him. You want to help him. You want to be in unity.
So ano yung nagisagot sa'yo, ma'am, ni President?
Na-shock din siya. Honestly, na-shock din siya. Bisaya kasi yung presidente natin sabi, nindot man di ay ni, kanang tabang man di ay ni siya sa ato. Ganon siya, parang na-shock siya na, kasi yun talaga yung nabungad ko. Ako, nagdala, di ba yung tipong, that's it. Kumbaga, that was my moment. That was my, I did not wait for it, but that was the very first thing I said to the president. Sir, ano po ang maitutulong ko.
Yes.
At doon ko na-realize, ang kapal naman pala ng mukha. Sabi sa presidente kung ano yung itutulong ko. But that's it eh. And I want more Filipinos to say that to our government. I want more Filipinos na magsabi sa inyo, lalo na sa inyo, servicemen and women, na paano kami makatulong, paano kami makiisa